Today on Monkey Life, serious concerns over the health of Sylvie, one of the park's last remaining Stumpies.
She's nice and steady. Oh no, shall we just get a lateral X-ray now?
Argentine chimp Sacha and alpha male Bart try to move their relationship along with mixed results.
Scare me, Bart.
And we've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. Erico's capuchins compete for a tropical treat. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
Boxes secured into place, everything's good.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 24 different species. The number of stump-tailed macaques at the park has dwindled due to old age and poor health. There are now only 3 remaining: 2 boys, Toto and Freddie, and the last surviving female, Sylvie. The group has experienced a lot of upheaval recently, and now there are serious concerns about Sylvie's health. It's a worrying time for the Stumpies' carers.
Unfortunately, we've just had a crushing couple of years for the Stumpy treat where they've lost most of their members and we're now down to 3. Sylvie's had to contend with being the only female and 2 boys, and which one does she back? And there's been a lot of sort of tension and things, but the group has settled down now a lot.
The remaining trio appear to have finally sorted out who's in charge. And it's Sylvie who's making decisions, leaving Freddie at the bottom of the pile, although he still has a close bond with Toto.
Sylvie is a madam. As soon as you walk in the house, she will let you know she needs feeding and she needs feeding now, please. She's quite a political lady. She's been waiting for an opportunity to be a high-ranking female for years. So with the passing of Noreen and Kelly being the head girl, the only girl, no competition with the ladies, she's delighted with that. And she really is very, very fond of Toto. Actually, when they bed down together, they normally bed down cuddled up together. They have a really sort of sweet relationship and he loves her very much.
But Sylvie has been experiencing medical issues for some time, including dramatic changes in her weight. A previous thorough veterinary examination didn't find anything untoward. But in recent weeks, her health has once again become a cause for concern.
She's got liquid diarrhoea quite frequently, she's got a great big bloated belly, she looks quite uncomfortable. So we're really keen to see what exactly is causing all of that. You know, best case scenario, we find maybe some inflammation of the gut, maybe something easy that we can treat or at least settle down with the right combination of medications. Worst case scenario, maybe we're looking at some sort of cancer or a tumour or a blockage within the gut somewhere. You just never know, but you have to prepare yourself just in case it's something sinister.
Local vet David Holler has arrived to give Sylvie an all-over checkup. While he prepares, primate care staff member Elle gives her a pre-med to make her drowsy, in preparation for an anaesthetic before the trip to the park's hospital. The team are perplexed by Sylvie's medical issues and lack of response to their efforts to treat her. They've tried everything from supplements and medication, and even a change of diet, but nothing has worked. David will need to give Sylvie an extensive examination.
Our plan is to get some X-rays and get the ultrasound machine on her and have a good look inside her. Yep.
The pre-med and anaesthetic have done their job.
Yeah, she's plenty asleep enough at the moment, I think.
As an anxious team watch on, David checks the Stumpy's abdomen for anything sinister.
She's nice and steady. Oh no, shall we just get a lateral X-ray now?
The team prepare to take some X-rays. It's a useful piece of on-site equipment and means David can get almost instant images.
Hips don't look too bad.
But nothing seriously wrong stands out. David moves on to check inside Sylvie's mouth for any damage in case she has a dental issue.
Teeth are okay. There's one which was broken, but the little part looks solid and there's nothing inflamed, so...
There's still no indication of what might be causing Sylvie's symptoms.
Okay, thank you.
An ultrasound might reveal more.
Some calcification of the bile ducts around the gallbladder. I don't think we're talking about a heart-related issue. Lights on there, please.
But again, nothing untoward. David's drawn a blank.
There's nothing obvious on the x-rays or on the scan. I'm reckoning on getting some blood and getting her awake.
He takes blood samples to be sent off to a lab for analysis.
Finally, just get a little sample out in the middle of this lymph node, just while we're here, because that looks bigger than I'm expecting. But...
And a sample of a lymph node in Sylvie's groin. Checks completed, the Stumpy is returned to her travel box to recover.
Yeah, don't grab the box on the way in, that's... There we go.
The team are no closer to discovering what's causing Sylvie's health issues, but they won't give up.
It's not normal, and so we will keep looking and see if we can find out what it is. But in a way, good news, we haven't found an obvious tumour, we haven't found anything obvious that we can't treat, so we will keep going and keep looking.
A few days later, the lab results are back, but frustratingly, there are still no answers. For now, Sylvie's medical issues remain a mystery. It's been a few weeks since Siamang gibbons Sam and Sacha moved to a temporary home at the main gibbon house to allow the maintenance team to give their permanent facility a much-needed renovation. Despite the upheaval, the pair have settled in well and are getting used to their unusual neighbours. Today, primate care staff member Sarah is going to give the Siamangs a seasonal treat: rose hips on the stem. She's hanging them up high to encourage canopy feeding, just as they would in the wild.
It's a perfectly natural enrichment item for them. It's seasonal, so hopefully the Siamangs will like them. It'll get them up high. They'll be able to forage nice and naturally. They're not going to miss them. They're nice and colourful.
Along with the brightly coloured fruit, Sarah has added green beans to today's menu. The pair love the outdoors, and as soon as the slide is opened, they head outside. The colourful fruits immediately attract their attention. Sam is first to inspect them. Realising straight away the rose hips are sweet and tasty, he starts to guzzle them up. Sacha soon follows his lead. The rose hips are a good food source, full of antioxidants such as vitamin C. In the wild, fruit and leaves make up a large part of a Siamang's diet, although they also eat insects and flowers. Today's enrichment is a bit different, because the rose hips come with a prickly problem on the stems, and the Siamang's hands are not best suited to help solve it.
So having the elongated fingers and a really short thumb puts their hands in that lovely hook-like position to move through the trees as quickly as they do, but of course they're not as dexterous in being able to manipulate food items and enrichment items and things like that. The rose hips was a really good idea because they are nice rounded shape, so they can sort of pick off the bits that they want and then hopefully avoid the thorns. This is quite a good lesson to learn for the gibbons, of what not to touch and what to touch, because not everything is edible. And I'm sure Sacha found that out today.
The rose hips have proved popular, and the green beans make an excellent second course. The two Siamangs have settled in their temporary home, and to remind everyone this is now their territory, they start singing. The song is the loudest of all gibbon species and can reach up to 90 decibels. Their large throat sacs inflate, amplifying the sound as they perform duets with complex vocal structures. The male and female have their own parts of the song to sing and form a perfect harmony, demonstrating their strong bonds and letting everyone know Sam and Sacha are in the house. Keeping the primates at the park interested and motivated at mealtimes can be challenging. The primate care staff do their best to liven up the animals' day, but it doesn't always work. A few weeks ago, the park's pair of patas monkeys snubbed an offering of sunflower heads laden with healthy seeds. They showed little interest, leaving the team a bit deflated. But undeterred, today primate care staff member Finn is having another go with a different seasonal offering: whole pumpkins.
We have carved some holes in them for the patas, just a kind of different way of displaying their food for them in the morning. We've had some lovely pumpkin cooked up, so we've got the insides of a pumpkin here, which has been roasted. We've also got the beautiful carvings and some of their favourite treats, which are the Mario worms, which they absolutely adore, so hopefully it will be an exciting morning for them.
The primate care team take great care over the animals' diet. Food is tailored to each individual's needs and health, whether it's a diabetic chimp like Bart, or a primate missing a few teeth like one of today's recipients, elderly Penelope.
She has had quite a few teeth out now, so we do make sure any food that we do give her is manageable and she can obviously chew on it or consume it. So yeah, it's just a good way of also allowing them to be patas monkeys, but within captivity instead of the wild.
Finn opens up the slide. Mr. P is first out, soon followed by Penelope. Mr. P is younger than his partner and heads straight across to inspect the large fruits, spotting the grubs inside. Penelope is less enthusiastic. She used to be the more dominant of the pair when they first arrived at the park, although in the wild, that's the role of the male. Now, Mr. P tucks in first, and he's certainly enjoying today's breakfast, going from one pumpkin to another. Plucking the grubs and seeds from the pumpkin flesh requires great dexterity and hand-eye coordination. Mr. P has no problem. But Penelope has a cataract in her left eye. Today's enrichment will help the team monitor how well she's managing and how much she can and can't see. No such issue for Mr. P, as he moves on to his third pumpkin. Penelope eventually tries the pumpkins too, eating some of the soft flesh.
I think that Mr. P is definitely enjoying himself. He came running straight out and was definitely curious to all of the new things that have been put up around the enclosure. He's using those foraging skills to look inside of each pumpkin, figure out what's in them first before he chooses which delicacy he would want. Yeah, it's been 10 out of 10 and thumbs up.
Having proved more popular than sunflower heads, the pumpkins will be left for a few days, so the patas can keep enjoying the tasty flesh and seeds. That's if Mr. P doesn't knock them all off first. It's been just over a year since Argentine chimp Sacha arrived from Buenos Aires Zoo, along with her son, Kangu. He's now settled in Brian's small group, but Sacha's integration into one of the park's larger chimpanzee groups has taken longer than expected. Now, at last, she's beginning to embrace life as part of Bart's troop of 16.
She is now in with mostly everyone and she's developing some stronger relationships, hitting a few little bumps in the road with the likes of Chatter and Mickey, who, yeah, just been surprisingly standoffish with her. But fortunately, the longer she's spent with the others, she's building up more alliances. Yeah, she's doing really, really well.
Having had little social interaction with other chimps at the zoo in Argentina, it's taken time for Sacha to fully understand chimp etiquette and the importance of establishing strong alliances. As a result, Bart's troop haven't been together as one since she joined.
If she can't make friends, there's just no place for her in the group. Yeah, she's not going to stand a chance, particularly with this lot. They're just one of the longest groups on the park. They've got such solid relationships. She's going to need them going up against someone like Bart, who is just such the pampered little prince of the group. Like, everyone adores him. If she doesn't have any friends, and he decides to go for her, she's really in a lot of trouble there. So, yeah, no, they're incredibly important for him.
The only chimp Sacha has yet to meet is Gamba, historically something of a troublemaker. She's met group leader Bart briefly in the bedrooms a couple of times, but Sacha didn't really know how to react, and he got frustrated, which cut the introduction short. Today, the team are trying a different tack.
They've not been the love at first sight that we hoped for, to be honest, but we think moving forward to find out realistically how they are going to be with one another, we need to open up and see how it goes. So, yeah, we'll give them a nice big space inside the playroom and, yeah, just let them crack on with it. But also, we kind of have the facility that if it does start going wrong, we can break it up. But, yeah, we just had to bite the bullet and hope for the best, really.
Before the pair are let into the indoor playroom, Sean allows them to meet in the bedrooms. Alpha male Bart takes the opportunity to put on a full display. But it's all bluff and bluster, and things soon calm down as Bart begins following Sacha around. He even offers his hand to the new female while fear grinning, and then seeking assurance from Sean when she doesn't respond.
Scared you, Bart?
With the introduction progressing well, Sean decides to let the pair have access to the indoor playroom, accompanied by other chimps from the troop. It's a gamble. If things get out of hand, it's a lot harder for the primate care staff to intervene. The move is greeted with excited hoots and chatter, but just as before, it quickly quietens down. Sacha starts to follow Bart looking for attention, but he mostly ignores her. It's a good result for the primate care staff, with no negative warning signs. They'll carry on the introduction over the coming days, allowing Bart and Sacha time to establish a settled relationship. If all goes well, the group could be back together as one in the very near future. At the Capuchin complex, Erico's troop have a fun and challenging day ahead of them. The park has received a donation of a lovely bunch of coconuts. And just like winning one at the fair, primate care staff member Donna is making sure the group will have their work cut out to claim a prize.
We always try to enrich them in some ways in whatever we give them. So by hanging them up in the trees and up in the towers, on the logs that go across the pond, it just makes it a bit more different for them. It means that they can't just grab one and run off. They've got to work for it a little bit more. Hopefully it'll last a bit longer and just get them thinking a bit more about how they're actually going to retrieve it and therefore get to them.
Capuchins are great problem solvers. In the wild, they use rocks as tools to crack hard-to-open nuts and fruits. Today, the coconuts have been cut in half, for safety reasons.
It would be great if we could give them these whole, because then you'd see the actual technique that they would use in the wild, which is peeling the outer flesh off, leaving them out in the sun for a period of time so that flesh goes brittle, so they can actually crack it open using the rocks and things that they have available to them. But unfortunately, we have several individuals that like to bash very hard items against things like windows. So for safety reasons, we can't do that. So we have pre-prepared them for them. But these will probably last them a good day, if not more. And nonetheless, you'll see them, they'll still have to smash them and, the coconut inside is quite hard, so that'll keep them busy for a long time.
Coconuts at the ready. Time to see how the clever Capuchins cope with the challenge. They're not shy. Weeper Capuchin Matty is excited to be one of the first to a prize. But can he hang on to it? He uses his tail and his feet to try, clinging on with determination, but eventually loses the battle. Elderly Ringo shows just how clever Capuchins can be. He's bitten through the string holding the coconut. Using what's left of the string, he holds it in his mouth and heads high to eat it somewhere a little more comfortable. Caesar is happy to eat piecemeal. He demonstrates his core strength, using his tail as an anchor as he reaches down to grab a chunk of coconut. Sean demonstrates natural wild capuchin behaviour, bashing his coconut on a tunnel roof to try and loosen the flesh. He's second in command to Erico, who's showing off his agility, taking a bite of coconut before climbing down to claim another and change tactics.
Erico's always very noisy, but he's actually doing really well. He's using the hard bolts and the logs that are in the enclosure to try and smash the coconut out of the shell. So that's exactly what he should be doing, you know, that he's using the tools that he's got to get to the food as easily as he can. But yeah, he always likes to make a song and a dance about everything.
The group are enthusiastic about today's task. Capuchins have extremely long and sharp teeth, particularly the males. Although the coconut flesh is quite hard, they can easily tear it free. The group's dynamics have changed in recent months with Sonny joining, having been ousted as leader of the Capuchin group at the lodge by Franco. He offered no threat to Erico's leadership and settled in well, getting on with the majority of the troop. But the biggest change has come within the female hierarchy, resulting in former pet trade Capuchin Louisa taking the title of top girl, despite being an amputee.
Louisa is an absolute force to be reckoned with. Compared to the timid little animal that she was when she first came in, which was about a year ago now, she has completely transformed. She's now the dominant female in the group, and she is so feisty. So yeah, she's definitely cemented her place in the group.
It's been a successful morning for Erico's troop. They've all given the physical and mental enrichment challenge a go, and no one's found it a tough nut to crack. Next time on Monkey Life. It looks like there's a love match in the pipeline for Saki monkey Desmond, who recently lost his partner.
She's going to be younger, she's going to be more agile, probably going to encourage Desmond to live a bit more of an active life.
And rough and tumble for Woolly brothers Levi and Leroy.